This isn't the end. This is, in fact, the beginning. I would like to first thank my wife, Kristen, who was a big part of making this happen. I'd like to thank Dwayne Morris, Suffolk University's Real Estate Center, Richard Taylor. I'd like to thank the Engineering Center, and particularly Abby Goodman and Dean Groves, who were instrumental in their sponsorship. But I'd also like to thank all of the speakers today. Weren't they absolutely fantastic? Just amazing talent. Change. Change is the law of life. And those who look to the past or present are certain to miss the future. That's what today is all about. I had a very astute reporter ask me today, how can you get things going in this country? How can you convince people to move to action when people no longer believe in science, they don't believe in economics, they don't believe in facts anymore. They believe only in their beliefs. And of course, it's their beliefs they believe in and not yours or mine. So how do we move people to action? How do we form this coalition? How do we find hope in this situation that will move us forward? For me, it's very personal. In 1970, I was recruited to work for the White House. We were challenged, 5 of us, led by Doug Costel, later an administrator of EPA, who led the 5 of us, to come up with 2 reorganization plans. Reorganization Plan 3 was to create EPA. Of course, we didn't know we were creating EPA at the start. We sat around a room, a couple of really sharp Harvard Business School guys were there, and we talked about EPA being in Commerce, in Interior, whatever. But most of all, we talked about the fact the Cuyahoga River was burning. We talked about Birmingham, where you couldn't get a breath of air. Talked about LA, where kids were sick every day just from walking to school. And look what we have done. We have a Garden of Eden in this country. Go to China. Go to Eastern Europe. Go to other parts of the world, the Soviet Union, where they're choking on their smog, they can't drink the water, and their health problems are legion and growing. I went running on a beach one day, and instead of stepping in jellyfish, I stepped in raw sewage. And as a result of that, I looked out at Boston Harbor. I said, gee, and I'd invite you to look out at this harbor. At that point, there had been 100 studies about Boston Harbor being polluted. There had been a study of how many studies there were to clean up Boston Harbor. Nobody thought it could be done. But the leadership that was out there, the energy that was out there, the support of the public that had never been acknowledged was out there. And working together, we were able to create the Massachusetts Water Resources Authority, a multi-billion-dollar project that was built on budget, on time, and has made the dirtiest harbor in America the cleanest harbor in America. So I know this can be done. I know that all of you out there, and thousands of more around this country, have the power to do it. So what do we do from here? I need you. I need your support. I need your follow-up to today. I want you to drop business cards, if you haven't already, in the receptacle on that small table so we can follow up with you. I want to meet with you. I want to meet with you in small groups. I want to have retreats where we talk. We have think tanks about where we go from here. And I want you to seriously consider coming to New York City, to Lower Manhattan, for the second of 3 symposiums we're going to have. That'll be a very different kind of symposium. That's where we're going to have big insurance, big reinsurance, big finance, big real estate. And we're going to not only call them to action, but just like today, we're going to challenge them. The private sector has a big role in making this happen, along with government. We heard about the leadership in government today, but we need the private sector. And combining government and the private sector, we'll move on to the 3rd symposium, either late next year or the beginning of 2015 in Washington. And we're going to put this issue on the national agenda. We're not going to back down. We're not going to think that we're going to have less of a future for our children than we've had. We're going to reimagine the coastlines of America. We're going to be that great maritime nation that attracted people from all over the world to the opportunities we had here. We're going to reestablish and revitalize our relationship with the seas and with the coasts of the inland waterways. We're going to see in them not a threat, but an opportunity, just like the Dutch have done. We can do the same thing. That's what this conference is about. That's what our challenge is. That's what our opportunities are. Thank you so much for coming today. I appreciate it very much. I look around and see how many people stayed to the bitter end. That's a testament to the speakers. So let's carry forth the word from here. Thank you very much.